Welcome back to A Conversation with Kennedy, where on every episode, I am talking to the who's who of the who's who, the professionals, the change makers, the all-around inspiring folks. And on this episode, we are taking a deep dive into hair care. Let's get into it. All right, now let me just introduce you to our wonderful guests. And I'm telling you, they're wonderful. Let's do this. Next to me is Ebony Obsidian, an actress who, if you don't know her by now, you will find out. She's on Wu-Tang on Hulu, Hunters on Prime, Sisters on BET. Girl, I can't keep track. It's a lot going on, and we're so happy for her. Next to her is Kia, famously known on Instagram as the Notorious Kia, for her impeccable fashion sense and that fro. Yes, ma'am, how you doing? And then next to her, the one and only Lisa Price, the founder of Carol's Daughter. You might have heard of it, and if you haven't, have you been sleeping under a rock? Wake up. Ladies, thank you for coming. So my first question for you is, do you feel like there is an added pressure in today's society to be natural?
Where I'm from, nobody was talking about natural hair. There wasn't really a lot of women who had natural hair, and even in my family, most women have relaxed hair. I didn't have a Lisa around to tell me what I needed to do. I just kind of shaved my head and went for it. And then all these years later, so many beautiful black women walking around with their natural curls and kinks and all this stuff. I think right now we're in a time where we're accepting it and we're celebrating it ourselves.
I feel like being in the influencer space, content creator space, I got my start on YouTube with the natural hair movement. So as I'm transitioning my audiences as well, throughout my journey, the amount of women that would come up to me and say, one, love your hair, or two, you inspired me to go natural. And so moments when I would straighten my hair or even have it in a protective style, I'm like, maybe I'm missing the opportunity to connect with somebody to inspire them. So it was more so an added pressure on me to wear my hair like this all the time. But I also think that's the beauty in black hair, the versatility in it, that you can style it in so many different ways. There's no other hair that can do what ours can do.
I actually think that we're finally in a space where there isn't pressure, it's more choice. I used to feel a bit the way that you did, and I felt like I couldn't experiment with my curls. So if I blew out my curls, people assumed that I had put a relaxer in my hair. To me, it's more of an accessory now. It's not the pressure of you have to look a certain way and be a certain way, which I think is great.
When I was closer to the beginning of my natural hair journey, I was walking down the street in Manhattan, actually not far from here, and there was a group of about 5 men, I'd say in their 60s, 5 black men, cussing me out as I'm walking down the street, asking me why I don't relax. Even men are changing with us. And I think once we said, I don't care what you think, I see a lot more men with their natural hair. I see a lot more men with locks and braids. And I think men are accepting, black men are accepting their natural too, which is so, so beautiful because, and it started with us.
We have to talk about Carol's Daughter.
We have to.
Have to. You're a legend, an icon, all of that. And I'm sure you've answered this question a million times, but for our viewers, can you tell us why you started Carol's Daughter?
It started from me making fragrances initially, and I was making fragrances for myself to use. And my mother encouraged me to sell at a church flea market in 1993, and I started out selling body butters with some fragrances. And women would come up to the tables and they would say, well, do you have anything for hair? I'm looking for something to make my hair softer. And I would say no, and then start to tell them about the body butters, and they'd walk away. So I said, I have to make hair care so that, you know, they'll stick around and, you know, talk to me, because I'm so much older. So I come from a different space. The void is there, but you're so conditioned to it that you don't even recognize it as a void. It just is what it is. It's not right, it just is what it is. And when you start to create and fill that void, and then you see all of the people who needed it to be filled, then you really realize, wow, how come nobody ever thought of this before? Why didn't this exist before?
We're gonna shift it a bit, okay? Protective styling.
Yeah.
Miss Lisa, you already rocking something for us right here, all right? If you don't know what protective styling is, we're talking about braids, weaves, wigs, everything up under the sun that's not what you see right here, besides Miss Lisa. Do we have any favorites with protective styling?
My favorite's crochet braids.
Those aren't crochet though, right?
Yeah.
They are? Shut
Yeah,
them out.
yeah. The
Really?
perimeter is parted and braided, but everything beyond that first row is crochet.
This is what you call black girl magic.
Okay. Hello and welcome to it.
Entirety. My favorite would have to be knotless braids. I need them long.
I feel like probably bantu knots, twists for me, because I'm like someone who can't have too much on my head.
Yeah.
Like if the weight of my head is different
Yeah.
than what it was yesterday, I'm gonna be sad. I'm gonna be a little sad. I could do it for a little bit. I could rock braids, Senegalese twists, all that stuff, but not for long. Not for long.
All right, so my last question that I have for you all. What piece of advice do you have for someone who's having a hard time embracing their hair texture?
I think it depends on the reason that they're having a hard time embracing it. So if you're struggling because you expect your hair to look like someone else's, then you have to let that go because you're you and you're not going to have another person's hair. You have the hair that you have.
I would say, because I get that question a lot, like, I love your hair, I wish my hair looked like yours. And so if it's a styling thing, cool, natural hair isn't for everybody. Find a style that works for you. If you just feel like it's too much work and you just don't have the time, relax it. Get a protective style, get a weave, get a wig. Cool. But if it's like deep rooted, like self-hatred, you know, because when we went natural, it was we were deconditioning then to recondition to love our hair this way, because most of us don't even know what our hair look like. Get to the root of it, learn to love your hair, obviously, but experiment with different styles. Like, yeah, you love my hair the way it is, recreate it. It's a journey for a reason.
It's a journey of trial and error.
Embrace it.
If you are struggling with accepting your hair for what it is, then really, really try to find the people, find your tribe. Find someone who has similar hair to you. Don't find someone who's, you know, I don't know, 3C and you 4, like expectations. You have to find realistic goals. And also, I think it's so important to remember that it's a journey, it's not a burden. It's a journey like anything else. You're always gonna have your hair. Whether it's relaxed or it's natural, you're always gonna have it. You're always gonna have to do something to it. And honestly, just go against the grain. Because life is just boring if you don't.
You're not defined by your hair. It's what's going on all up in here. I don't care what someone's showing up as with the hair thing. If you're not a good person, you know what I'm saying? Then that's when things get a little shaky. As you figure out what you're doing with your hair and where it's going, you just sit in that and embrace that, because it is a journey and we've all been there. All right, game time. Yes. Game time. So this is Would You Rather hair care, okay? All right, first question. Would you rather bonnet or big silk scarf?
Wait,
It's
I'm
in
sorry.
the front.
All right, I'm checking.
Bonnet. See, yeah.
Bonnet.
Okay, so we got 2 team silk scarves.
Yes.
1 team bonnet. I'm team bonnet if I'm being honest. I wear bonnets at night. You prefer the silk scarves.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's just gentler on the hair. It's silk. You know, only the finest of fabrics should touch your hair. With a bonnet, especially from a beauty supply store, you don't know what kind of fabric is that. And then the elastic around your edges is just chewing and eating away at your beautiful edges.
If your hair was like this, you would do a silk scarf?
Yeah, I do a pineapple up like this.
Shut up. But then do you ever, I know we getting right into all the questions, I know. But wait, and we'll get back to the game. But my question is, does your hair ever get too stretched when you're doing the pineapple? That's my issue with pineapples.
Yes, but I also do my hair like a couple times a week. And then I found like a modified version where you leave like a low pony and then let this, but still put the scarf around it.
Okay, Miss Lisa, just learn
So that
something.
stays the
A
same length.
ponytail here and a ponytail here, that'll do it. Yep.
I mean, you go to bed looking a little crazy.
Right.
But, you know, all for the name of beauty.
All that matters is the morning.
Next question is, would you rather a silk press every month for a year, damage, or cutting your own ends for the next 5 years, even more damage? Which one do you want to do? Which would you rather?
I don't like these games because I wouldn't do this either. I don't cut my own ends, but I don't know what a silk press is going to do to me. So I would just not have a good shape to my hair for the next 5 years because I would be like, snip, okay, done.
Can I change? Can I change?
I don't know what this is going to do for a year.
I'm going to go to cosmetology school and then I'll do this. Because 5 years, 9 months, and then I'm trained. Okay, yeah, we could do that.
All right, next question. Would you rather knotless braids or box braids? Yeah.
I haven't tried them yet, so I want to try them.
I can't say because I haven't tried them either, so I have to say.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have to say that.
Your hair is so thick though.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to picture the knotless braids we
Can you break down exactly what it is?
Knotless braids? I think it's just more so the method.
Yeah, it's no knot. So you see, if you look at Lisa's hair, even though hers aren't traditional box braids, but you see that little knot. And so that's where a lot of breakage happens with your box braids. There's no tension with the knotless braids. So what you were saying about your head going this way and going that way, you should check out the knotless braids.
Check them out.
Yeah.
And we have a
We're gonna try that tomorrow.
Yes.
Y'all, this has been an amazing conversation. I hope you have been taking your notes with your pen and your pad, okay? And maybe a pencil just in case you thought you knew something and you didn't, all right? We are here to help you. If you have any questions, leave us a comment and we will do what we can to help you with your situation or to lend you a helping hand. I'll reach out to these ladies personally, okay? Until next time, I will see you on the next Conversation with Kennedy. Bye.
Yes! You are a ball of fun. I love this so much.